Good day, Bashar.
And you good day.
Well, thank you. I have 3 questions.
Oh, all right. We don't know if we have 3 answers, but please proceed.
I suspect you have more than 3 answers.
Perhaps. We never know until we need them.
Okay. The first question relates to the interface between the individual versus the collective reality.
Yes.
And so specifically, you've spoken in previous transmissions about spaceships, landing, et cetera, disclosure, things like that.
Yes.
And what I'll call the collective reality in certain time frames for things to happen. And I guess my question is, what I don't understand,
Yes.
if as I'm choosing alternate realities individually,
Yes.
what's the interface between those two? Because if I'm ready to see individuals from other planets, etc.,
Yes.
what difference does it make when the majority of people on this planet will see that?
The difference that you're talking about is the idea of remembering that as you change your energy, you're actually shifting to another parallel reality that is more in keeping with the vibrational change you've made within yourself. Therefore, as a new individual, you're acting with a new collective that may be more representative and more ready of the idea you're talking about experiencing.
Okay, so the time frames that you've given for the collective for experiences like that's just a general time frame?
Is a general overall probability time frame for how we perceive the idea of the shifting that's going on within all the individuals will be more in alignment with a collective reality on that vibratory level.
And there will be individual differences within that.
Of course. But nevertheless, we are talking in general probabilities here.
Okay.
Does that help?
That helps.
All
Thank
right.
you. Second question.
Yes.
I'm curious about what you would say about human sexuality.
Yes.
And also, some people know, some people don't know, dolphins are very sexual.
Yes, many animals are, including humans.
Correct. So I'm wondering what you would like to say on that topic.
What, in 25 words or less?
Exactly.
Is that not a topic that you yourselves have devoted books and books and books to? Sexuality obviously serves a function. It can serve many different kinds of functions. But we will say this most of all. When done within integrity, when done from a place of unconditional love, when done from a vibration of your true self, it can be a physiological act of bonding and a physiological act of connection, not only to each other in many ways, but to many levels of your own consciousness and to Source itself. But of course, it depends on how it's done. It depends on with what intent you do it. Yes?
Yes.
Does that help? Or is there some other direction you wish to proceed?
No, I think
all right.
That's quite sufficient for that
All right.
one.
Well, we weren't sure if you were asking us on a date. And third?
You'd have to speak to my girlfriend about that.
All right.
Okay, the third one is about what many people here would call starseeds, individuals that have previous existences on other planets.
Well, simultaneous existences on other planets,
Correct.
So to speak.
Yes.
Simultaneous connections to existences on other planets going on right now, even though some of them may be called the past or the future from your linear perspective.
So the question, I guess, is how common is that? And very common. Okay,
Yes.
so would most...
all of you, every single one of you, have connections to other realities, other dimensions that you are downloading information and energy from. The concept of the starseed really isn't so much a description of the specific physical nature of these connections or the mechanical arrangement of these connections, because you all have it. The idea of the starseed is the degree of awareness you have of those connections as they exist. Does that make sense?
Yes, and what's the significance of being more aware of that?
It's more reflective of the idea of a holistic point of view, that you are seeing more of yourself simultaneously in much similar fashion to what we described in the chess analogy of seeing many moves ahead simultaneously, seeing many parallel realities all at once, which gives you a greater sense of what you as a being actually are. And thus then you can draw consciously upon more of those connections and apply those connections and the information you download from them more effectively in your physical reality here, even as many of those connections are drawing upon you and other connections to download information that serves them in their incarnational experiences.
Excellent.
Yes?
That's helpful. May I ask one other thing?
That was a question.
So we're up to 4. Can I go for 5?
That was another question. Would you like to try for 6? Just ask the question.
Scanning my energy, is there anything that you would like to say to me or that you would find helpful, that I would find helpful personally?
Are you acting on your highest excitement to the best of your ability every moment that you possibly can with no assumptions or insistence or expectation to the outcome?
Mostly.
That means no. Therefore, I would ask you to survey and investigate those areas of your life where you are holding back. For it is those areas you need to look at, and in discovering what it is that you are choosing to hold yourself back with, you will discover ways of releasing those things and becoming even fuller.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
I was going to ask you a question about what I was not seeing, what I was not accepting, or what I haven't learned.
But I just answered it, didn't I?
Yes.
How synchronous of us.
So now that leaves me without a question. I just wanted to check in and make
You
sure.
can make a statement. I will tell you a secret we have told to a few other people, and that is sometimes when you choose to make a statement instead of asking a question, you actually open up more doors that we can access more information through.
Then I would love to make a statement.
Then make a statement.
And my statement is that I've discovered that the reason my physical health is not all it can be is because I've been stubborn and not doing my work with the full joy, with no expectation of outcome.
And why have you chosen to do that up to this point? What have you been afraid of, in other words?
Exposure.
Exposure! You mean you're going to be naked?
Well, not physically, but yes.
And what is wrong with allowing people to know who you are?
They come after you.
They do.
They do.
And what does that have to do with what you experience in your life?
Wow.
You want help with that answer?
Yes, sir.
Nothing. It has nothing to do with anything if you choose to see it that way. You understand?
I do, yes.
There will always, for a time, on your world, in the way you experience it, there will always, for a time, be those who will not like what you have to say, who will not allow you to be you. You know why? Because when you are being you as fully as you can, you are a constant reminder to those who are not being themselves that they are not being themselves, and they don't like being reminded of that.
I got it.
You understand?
I do, yes.
But that is the greatest service you can actually provide them, because at least by example, you're giving them an opportunity to see through you that they could choose to be more fully themselves, even if they don't choose to.
Well,
By
sir,
not being yourself, you are removing that opportunity from them. You are only reinforcing their choice to be afraid to be themselves. So at first they may rebel against seeing an example, because by coming from a negative state, they only see the idea in a negative way. In other words, they're saying, you're rubbing my nose in what it is I am too afraid to do, and I resent you for that. Good impression, yes? And so the idea is that they're coming from a negative state to begin with, and so that's the only way they can see it. But the more you are yourself, the more unconditionally compassionate and loving you will be. And maybe, just maybe, eventually, they will get tired of being such curmudgeons and will actually say, you know, she has something going for her. It's working for her. Maybe it will work for me. And then you have given them an opportunity to make a different choice. But if you withhold that, you're only reinforcing the same fear and saying, it's all right to stay there. I'm there too. Misery loves company.
Well, I'm going to say wow, because now I feel like a really big hypocrite.
No.
Well, no, one of the things I teach all the time to
Yes.
all of the people I work with is when you show up for yourself,
Yes.
you give others the opportunity to show up for themselves.
Absolutely.
And you said the same thing, only better. And
Just
it's-
different.
Okay, well, different. And
Every
so-
single one of you is a gift. Do not deprive others of the gift of your being. You know the story, many of you perhaps, of the idea of the people sitting around a pot with different pictures on it. Do you know that story?
I do not.
A tribe is sitting around a large cooking pot, and on the cooking pot are painted many different kinds of images of their history. And as they sit around and sharing the meal, each one of them says what it is they are seeing the particular image of on their side of the pot. But if the person on the other side of the pot doesn't share their image, you don't have the whole history. You don't have the complete picture. You're leaving something out and depriving others of understanding their heritage.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
So, say what's on your side of the pot so everyone can share the meal and enjoy the feast. Yes?
Yes.
Sound like fun?
Yes, it does.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's great to be in your energy again, Bashar.
Well, thank you.
Gonna
Good
choose
day to you.
Thank you. I'm going to choose to speak technical today.
Technical. All right.
So,
Talk tech.
Continuing from our previous conversation earlier this year, I'm left with questions about gravity
Yes.
and about the nested capacitor design.
Yes.
So we spoke about the prime radiant
Yes.
and its relationship to the.
You've just lost half the audience.
You wish to explain then?
Prime radiant, very briefly, is simply the idea that if you imagine, and this is just an analogy, imagine a single particle in all of existence. If you wish, imagine one tiny little subatomic particle in a big black void. Nothing else exists. This one tiny particle, because it's the only thing, has no rules. It can go as fast as it wants. If it travels thus then at infinite speed throughout this black void, in whatever pattern it wishes, it will appear to be many particles all at once, because it's going so fast it can appear next to itself over and over and over again at the same time. This is how reality is structured, and that's why you literally are made of the same thing that everyone and everything else is. This is the prime radiant idea from our civilization. Please continue.
Correct. So you spoke about structure.
Yes.
And in our conversation, we related the prime radiant to gravity.
In a sense, yes, there is an aspect of that, obviously, that creates what you experience as gravity, yes.
Okay. So in the idea of the fabric of space and time,
Yes.
gravity appears to be an energy of high vibrational quality.
Yes.
Why? Because it bends it,
Well, so to speak, yes.
at least to our modern-day scientists. And it's still very misunderstood.
Oh, yes.
Or highly non-understood.
Yes.
So could you expand on a little more on the nature of gravity, how to create it, handle
Yes.
it, harness it, and manipulate it?
Turn around and look at the holotope. Do you see the holotope?
Yes.
Do you see the geometric pattern?
The fractal, yes.
Do you see where the lines cross each other and where they don't?
Yes.
The idea is that where the lines cross each other the most is what you call the crystallization of energy down into matter. The idea is that the relationship of those nodal points is gravity. Do you understand this analogy?
Yes.
Then there you go. Allow yourself to understand how the nodal points are reflective of the matrix in which the material exists, and you will understand how to stretch and bend those nodal points according to certain geometric patterns, such as Fibonacci spirals. So when you understand the idea of Fibonacci spirals and how they overlap and create overlapping nodal points and cross each other again and again and again in certain ways and expand in certain ways, you will understand everything you need to know about the ideas of gravity, about the ideas of dark matter, about the ideas of dark energy, and why what you call your physical universe seems to be accelerating instead of slowing down. One example. If you understand the idea of taking a Fibonacci spiral in one direction and a Fibonacci spiral in the opposite direction, you will understand that the spirals where they cross and cross again and cross again and cross again will be constantly farther and farther and farther and farther and farther apart. Yes?
Correct.
Well, if you understand that that's representative of the expansion of your universe, you will understand that that's why it's accelerating, because the idea of the spiral is it has to cover more distance to reach the next nodal point. By being that particular kind of curve, it does so. And in your space-time reality, that translates out to the idea of greater distance over the same time equals acceleration. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Then there you go. Learn the vibrational state of those Fibonacci spiral nodal points, and you will understand the relationship of gravity to matter, and you will understand the idea of how to manipulate the vibrations in order to manipulate gravity's relationship to matter. That's one way to approach it. There are several ways, but that's the way that we are talking about right here in terms of the idea of geometric structure.
Okay. You spoke about the vibrational nature of matter just now. And that actually leads to my second question.
Oh, all right.
So when we spoke, you mentioned that in order for an object to go from location A to location B,
yes,
all we would need to do would be to
change the locational variable of the object itself.
Which is vibration.
Location, it is a frequency within an energy equation, a signature vibration. Because location is not somewhere that an object exists in. Location is one of the properties of the object. And the object here and the object here are actually two different objects, because of the change and difference in the locational variable within the overall energy equation of that so-called object.
So in the present day, how can we measure that vibrational frequency?
Get a very, very, very flat table that's at least 6 to 10 feet long. Very flat. Take a very thin copper ball, about 3 inches, 4 inches in diameter, hollow, very thin, as perfectly round as you can make it. Put it at one end of the table. Strike it and get it to vibrate, or vibrate it through some other means. Measure those vibrations as precisely as you can. Then move the ball to the other end of the table and repeat that measurement. Find the difference in those two measurements. If your instruments are sensitive enough, you will ultimately discover the difference in those two frequencies. And when you do, then you can put the ball back in position A, and then either acoustically or electromagnetically or any way you wish, bombard it, overwhelm it, in a sense, with the vibrational frequency that is specific to the other end of the table when the object was there, and you will see that the object will at least, if not disappear from here and wind up over there instantaneously, it will at least roll across the table to its new position and stop. And you will have begun to learn to chart the idea of that vibrational matrix map, which is what we use, and impose it over the idea of the physical reality, so that we understand, like a C chart, what the vibrational coordinates are for all the locations we wish to go to. Thus, then we isolate our ship in an electromagnetic gravitational bubble, unlock it from any particular reality, impose upon it the vibrational locational equation of where we wish to go, and thus then when we remove the bubble, pop, we disappear from there, and pop, we appear at our destination. Ultimately, you can do it that way, but begin with something like this experiment and allow your imagination to be your guide to alter it in whatever way, shape, or form you so desire. But as soon as your instruments are sensitive enough to tell the difference in the vibration of an object in two different locations, you'll be on your way to charting the vibrational map of the universe.
Perfect.
All right?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.